Artists, storytellers, beatmakers, this is the latest news, deals, and free plugins from the music production world. Lots of news from Superbooth and something that just arrived in the studio. Let's get started. Superbooth is going on right now in Berlin, and we've seen some amazing new gear already. First up, the biggest thing released, and I honestly say this is the largest thing released, is the new Arturia Polybrute 12. I just released a full video demoing it, so I'll give you just the highlights in this video. This is the new flagship synth from Arturia. It's a 12-voice analog synth that incorporates several expression tools: the Morphe pad, the touch ribbon, the morph knob, and a brand new keyboard that includes what Arturia calls full touch MPE. It gives you new expression capabilities we haven't seen on any Arturia product, and actually any analog synth ever before. The Polybrute 12 is a 2-oscillator synth with 2 types of filters, a mod matrix, and lots more. The price is $3,999, which many of you actually said is a deal. The video I released this week will give you all the other details, and you'll hear tons of sounds as well. I'll link it below. Question of the week: what gear would you like to see more of on the channel? The Polybrute 12 is actually the first hardware synth I've created a full review for. Would you like to see more? How about studio monitors, mics, more headphones? What interests you most? Comment below. Next up, Voltage Labs 2 is a new synth announced from Pittsburgh Modular. This is a semi-modular analog synth that has a touch strip at the bottom that can be used as a keyboard set to a specific scale or as a controller for the built-in sequencer. The oscillators are unique too. They give you a center clipping wave folding oscillator for oscillator 1 and a pulse symmetry with a reflection wave folder for oscillator 2. If all this sounds new to you, it's because they're actually using their own technology for these oscillators. And Pittsburgh Modular says that the sound it produces is somewhere between analog physical modeling and abstract timbres. The Voltage Labs 2 has assignable keys, dedicated pitch and CV knobs, an effects section, and more. It's going to cost around $2,000 and will be available in June. Korg is releasing a $13,000 synth. But before I get to that, a quick reminder of last week's deal and freebie. Today and tomorrow only, you can get an extra 15% off of all Tech Evasion plugins, including the new Must Try AI Loudener. And that 15% is on top of their current 50% off sale. So you can get some great plugins for cheap right now. And don't forget about the freebie. The new T Saturator is free for everyone. I'll include links to the deal and freebie below and right here. So that Korg synth, remember this massive thing I looked at NAMM a few months ago? Well, it's the PS3300, a remake of a synth from the 1970s, and Korg is making these in a very limited run. Only 50 units will be made. But what justifies the rumored $13,000 price tag? Well, it's going to have a 49-voice polyphony with the 49-key keybed. It's semi-modular, has a mixer, 3 oscillators, multiple filters, and a lot more. Apparently this synth will be available by the end of this year. Hit the like button if you think Korg should send me one to let you all hear it. All right, let's take a quick break from the synths and talk about a new interface from PreSonus. Actually, a new line of interfaces, and I have one right here. This is the Quantum ES2, and it's the most affordable in the new range of Quantum interfaces. This one is $230. They've upped the specs on this range of interfaces. You get 75 decibels of preamp gain range. And to give you some context, their most affordable and popular interface, the AudioBox 96, has 35 decibels, and their studio range has 50. So that 75 on paper looks like a big deal. They've also added high performance converters into this, and auto gain, loopback, and metering via software. Looks like they're really stepping up the specs in this new range of interfaces. On the back, you'll see combo XLR and 1/4-inch inputs, outputs, and MIDI in and out. The Quantum series has 4 models with either 2 or 4 preamps. The higher priced HD version ups the specs of the converters a bit, adds screens and ADAT connectivity. I'm happy that PreSonus is giving us some higher quality interfaces. This is a step in the right direction for them, and I think they've really maintained a good price point as well. I need to put the Quantum ES2 through some tests, and I'll let you know how it compares to others in a later video. You can order the new range of interfaces now, links are below. All right, we have to get back to synths because this next one is awesome. A few of you noticed the synth on my desktop, and I haven't really talked about it much. It's the Nina synth by Melbourne Instruments, and it has those fully motorized knobs that are just spectacular. I love this thing. Until now, Melbourne only gave us this desktop version, but they recently showed a keyboard version on their Instagram, and it's actually got even more than the Nina. The Delia adds that keyboard and an additional oscillator, so 4 instead of the 3 on the Nina. It will have 6 voices and an optional 12 through analog filter circuits. We're going to hear a lot more of this as Superbooth progresses, so I'll keep you posted. Okay, we've got more huge synth releases, but first, a word from our sponsor, DistroKid. DistroKid is a simple and fast way to get your music onto Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, Pandora, pretty much everywhere. And DistroKid collects earnings for you when your listeners play or purchase your music. This is your chance to get your music heard, so get it out there. I've created 2 videos on DistroKid that will probably answer any questions you have. You can watch them right here. And if you're ready to sign up, I'll include a link in the video description that'll get you 7% off your first year of membership. More synths? Yep, Oberheim's leaked TEO-5 has now been officially announced. This new synth has been built in the same body as the sequential Take 5. It would be hard to tell the two apart had it not been for the blue stripes on the Oberheim. The TEO-5 is a 3-octave analog synth with 5 voices, which of course gives you some limitations compared to the big OBX8 with its 8 voices. But you do get the classic Oberheim sound, the classic SEM filter with morphing between low and high pass, built-in effects, and a 64-step polyphonic sequencer and arpeggiator. The Oberheim TEO-5 is available for pre-order for $1,500, which makes it very affordable compared to the OBX8. Not to be left behind, Moog has announced the Spectronox, a semi-modular analog spectral processor. Its 10-bank filters can create drone sounds and sweeps without any external sounds, but can intake sounds, of course, as well. You can connect a microphone to it to use it as an analog vocoder. Even more interesting, though, is a leak of another Moog product. The Labyrinth was leaked on a retailer's website and revealed a new synth coming soon. The Labyrinth is an analog synth with 2 oscillators, a triangle LFO, ring modulation, noise, and a voltage-controlled wavefolder. We'll have to wait to hear official news from Moog on the price. I'm sure we'll hear it during Superbooth. Hey, if you missed it, I released a video a few days ago with Sides, the Logic Pro tips expert. And she didn't talk about Logic Pro. She actually shared her story of creating a 6-figure music career on social media. And she gave some really practical advice on how you can use her strategy for your own music career. Check out that video right here. All right, finally, I've got a few deals and a freebie for you. First of all, if all these synths are out of your budget, you can tinker with Cherry Audio's new Chroma synth, which was just released and is $69 right now. This synth brings back the Rhodes Chroma keyboard from 1982 into software form, and you'll get all the original presets and a ton more. UJAM is having a spring sale, 50% off their synths, effects, and drum instruments. I highly recommend Vice and Glory for drums, by the way. If you've been looking for a U87 microphone copy, you can get the Warm Audio version $150 off until the end of this month. And the Gen 4 Scarlett 2i2 and Solos are on sale as well. The first time since they've launched it, I think. Links to everything in this video are below and right here. Okay, how about a freebie? Today's freebie will give you the Oberheim sound without spending any money. The OBXD is a free plugin you can download, and it captures all of the magic of the Oberheim in VST form. It's well designed and solid. The free version is fully functional but prohibits commercial use. So if you end up using it in your commercial tracks, make sure you get the paid version. Arturia's new beast of a synth is something to behold and hear. You can listen and learn how the Polybrute 12 takes Arturia to new levels of synthesis in my video right here. Keep making the music you love. I'll see you soon.